as our donation this year. And like we did last year, who was here for the Crowley Foundation deal last year, right? So what we always do is give a chance for everybody to learn who the organization is, what they're about, how they got started, and just kind of give some background to it. And obviously we have a celebration of that as well. So I like to present to you Coach Morgan here, right. And we're going to have a quick conversation. But with that, I'll just go ahead and say here, obviously we have our internal team here. I'm not going to have them all introduce themselves or anything just yet, but we also have people online as well. So we'll make sure that we're speaking up for everybody online and for those of you who are in the back of the room. So cool. Right on. Well, welcome. Come on, sit down. All right. Excellent.
Thank you.
All right. So as we always do within this donation, and obviously just a little bit of background as well. So I'm going to ask a few questions of Coach Morgan as well. So just going to kind of go ahead and get things jumped off. Can you talk a little bit about who you are and how the Morgan Dogs came to be?
Yes, but before I do that, can I say just a couple of things? One, as I'm walking into the building, I see what you guys have, a seed of life on the building. That's who I am as well. The seed of life is very important. That's what makes up everything that you see in this world today. So that right there made me feel good about this building. The other thing that made me feel good about it is when looking at the history that you guys have, the 4,000 employees, the 26 states, things like that. And the most other important thing is in Iowa. Well, my mom was, rest in soul. She was born in Des Moines, Iowa. So all these connections. So it's just awesome just to feel good about walking into this building. And then seeing the people here to know what this is about. Relationships are very important to me. And the other thing that's important to me as well is, having some trust. Trust is important. Integrity is important. That's what I stand for. So let me just tell you a little bit about, thank you for letting me interrupt. I had to write this down, so my wife said don't mess it up. So our anniversary was Valentine's Day, so I have to make sure I do well for her. So anyway, I'm going to read a little bit, but it's just so that I won't mess up. It has been an honor to be coaching in the last 35 years of youth and at all capacities, taking them from Little League all the way through state titles in high school. I have coached everything from football, basketball, track, and of course, what my love is basketball. The Morgan Dogs came to me 6 years ago as a result of Brighton Community asking me to coach their young players and have given up on the dream of basketball. They were making bad choices. They were not going to class, and they were not successful in academics or in athletics. It has been an honor to coach not only the Brighton community, also but greater Denver area. So now we have expanded to the greater Denver area. These young athletes are proud to represent the Morgan Dogs. And I'll talk a little bit more about, we have a lot of them that's not here today because they're in high school and they have high school practice. They're in state basketball tournaments coming up. So a lot of them wanted to be here. 3 guys are in college. They couldn't be here today, but they wanted to come. But they all in college getting ready for NCAA.
Excellent, man. Thank you for that. Just giving us the background on everything. So you kind of talked a little bit about 6 years ago, right? So you decided to say, all right, I'm going to go ahead and do this Morgan Dogs thing. And so what was your main goal? What was your main goal in starting Morgan Dogs?
Well, I think my main goal, I have more than one, but my main goal with starting the Morgan Dogs was getting players to love the game again, getting at least 100 kids in the program, getting, I would say, players academically sound. I mean, that's what we lose a lot of. I have 6 kids of my own. 4 of them were D1 players, and they all were academically sound. And I think I had to start with that. And academics is very important to me. And since then, we have players that have scored 1,000 points in the season. We have players that were voted all state. We have players, this is my best one I love. I had to write this down. We had 5 players that made all-state academics. And that was my really one I love. And then the other thing is, our club is proud to achieve 4 goals have been consistently with our program. Our goals that have been consistently is, being a good person, be righteous, trust, integrity, honesty, those things that we have to go by and stay with.
Right on. So with all the success you've had over this whole time, right, not only with your own children, but also these young men and obviously those who are moved on and destined to a whole lot of things. What are you looking forward to in the future with Morgan Dogs? Where do you kind of see yourself? I'm not putting a number on it, but just where you see yourself in the future.
Well, let me just go back one thing. I know it's like who I am is I'm from my mom, who was Margie Jeter. My mom and dad died when I was young, so they never got a chance to see me play basketball, football, or anything. I wanted to give up on life at that time, but I have to talk about my coach back in the day. The best thing happened was when I got transferred. I got bused to another school. That was the best thing that happened to me. And I don't know if I could talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
It was 7 black kids. And all of us were boys, and we got bused to a school called East High School. And that was the best thing that happened to me because it showed me what the world was really about. I was in this, what I call a fishbowl. And all we do is, I tell our kids this all the time, we just swim round and round. Well, we got to get out of that fishbowl and get into what we call the ocean. And in the ocean, you have everything. So my coach, back in the day, he's now passed away. I did say some nice words at his funeral, but he saved me. He told me, you want to change your life, you have to start with you. The hardest thing for me, and I want everyone in this room to know this, it wasn't that I couldn't do it. The hardest thing for me was to ask for help. That was the hardest thing for me to do. It was to ask for help. And once I asked for help, everything changed. But back to your question, we're looking to have, for the program, we're looking to fund this program with talent and overlook, and because of different reasons that we don't have the money. But my main goal is to start this program, looking forward to it, is to have the Morgan Dogs provide opportunities, enthusiasm, athletics, empower our kids here, our players here, to be leaders. The other thing is to encourage these young guys to build a healthy habits and friends that can carry them into the future. This is very important to me. It is important to me as a coach to stay in touch with all my players, my former players, to hear about the things and the success that they have in the communities. And a lot of them have a lot of success.
Right on, man. So you talk a lot about success and what you want for them. And within this question is, obviously, in working with young people, what is the lasting impact you hope they receive? And I know this isn't about you.
No.
But
please,
obviously, from you, what do you hope that they receive? And obviously, we have parents here that are also a part of this as well. But what do you hope that they receive out of this program?
Well, let's just I keep going backwards, so please bear with me here. I have had so many parents, and without the parent support, I don't think the Morgan Dogs would be here today. We have a president who's not with us today. He was busy. He believed in me. When you have people that believe in you, there's nothing you can't do. And our world today has changed. The workplace, what you can do now. We have to be more flexibility. And there's a lot of things that we have to do in order for this to happen. So I want to start with my goals, our goals, and it's these young men here and the other young men that couldn't make it today. What our goals in the past 6 years, we started the Morgan Dogs, has been to model, mentor, responsibility, successful and confident student athletes. The motivation is always help the player to be able to choose which college they want to go to, what level. The Morgan Dogs have multiple players that go on to college. We have guys in Texas A&M, University of Wyoming, CSU. We have Adams State, we have Fort Lewis, et cetera, UCC. Our student athletes are studying engineering. They're studying business, finance, and more pathways into the community they have. We are a college prep program. And what I mean by a college prep program is that we want these young men to be able to go to college and not even worry about the sports, but what are you going to do after the sports? What are you going to do 10 years from now? What are you going to do 15 years from now? Have a plan. So that's what we do. We really want these young players to be successful. So if they're successful, then we're successful.
Excellent, man. Yeah, and I hope that too for all of these bright faces that are sitting here as well. So kind of the last question, again, of course, we'll kind of open it up to questions from the audience here and those who are online. But how important are corporate partnerships to you and what you guys are doing now?
Wow. Scott and I talked about this a lot, and I talked to, of course, Jennifer, who we're blessed to have in our program. Corporations, and this is important that I say this right, and I really want you guys to hear me. Corporation partnerships are important for these three reasons. The first, they help us lower the cost of participations in our program so that athletes that would not normal be able to afford the cost of college prep program have the opportunity to participate. And what I mean by that is over the past 30 years, we get like 40 kids out for the high school level that's getting ready to play. And after tryouts, I'll get like 10 parents call me up and say, I need a payment plan. I can't afford it. Well, and Scott and Jennifer and other the board members can tell you that money comes out of my pocket. We're trying to get away from that. Last year, I spent $25,000 of my own money helping students be able to fulfill their dream from the 6th grade all the way up. So that's the first one. The second one is we need our coaches and our staff to be able to focus on players and the game, knowing that monetary needs are being supported by our corporation sponsors' investment. And that's important. Thirdly, the club is able to better serve the athletes, dedicating the time and practice and games, and not just trying to be sure that we can work financially, to go out and raise money. Thirdly, we believe that the corporation partnerships will help us grow as an organization. As we learn more and work to incorporate the mission of the sponsors and guidance into our program. These players are our future leaders in our community, government, and the global world. Having education into the corporation sector will motivate our student athletes to lead in our future. And that's what this is all about today. These young men turning around one day having you guys' job. That's what our world needs to be.
Love it, man.
Okay.
Excellent, man. And I think the importance as well, as you kind of hit on it, is obviously kind of that back and forth, right? You take some to get some as well. And I know we've had talks here in our office. We also have some, I'm putting her on the spot. I'm not going to put her too much on the spot. She is a former student athlete that has made that transition. And then also Dane, who might be on the call, is also one of those student athletes. And I think we believe in that here at J.E. Dunn because we work as a team, right? And having student athletes transition into the workforce is sometimes a plus, I would say. Not all the time, but sometimes. Or if not most of the time. I'm a former student athlete as well. So always looking out for that as well. So with that said, we're done with questions. So if there's any questions that we have, whether it's online or here in the room, is there anybody has a question for Coach? Don't be shy. Yeah. Ready?
All right, so we don't use the word find, we use good fit. What's a good fit for them? What's a good fit for us? It's hard to play for Coach Morgan because the reason why is I do everything the right way. We have all these other big clubs out there, and they have a huge turnover, and we don't do that. We look for the parents. We look how well the parents are supporting the student athlete, and then we look for the student. We talk to the student. We never say that this student is on our team or not. We tell them to come to a practice, come to the tryouts, and we see if it's a good fit. And then what I mean by a good fit is it's hard. You have to have grades to play in the Morgan Dogs, even at the 5th grade level. You have to be an A, B student. I don't have anyone. You can't be in trouble with the law. I just don't have time for that. I mean, I grew up in that atmosphere, and I won't do it again. I'm going to do it the right way, because we can make better choices. Our young kids can make better choices. Is people, that are in position to help them. We need to show them that by leadership. So to be a Morgan Dog is, first of all, you have to be able to do a couple of things before you even get to my program. One is you have to be sound academically. 2 is you have to make sure that you're doing the right thing outside of basketball.
I will also say, just to add on, because I've known that now for a little over a year, that he knows everybody in the basketball scene in Denver. And he is constantly looking for kids that fit in the program, no matter what situation he's in. He's constantly talking to kids and figuring out, what their goals are and where they want to be. And he's a true advocate for these kids. I'll just speak for my own kid that's probably going to be super embarrassed that I'm talking about right now, but he didn't have anybody that believed in him before. And Ed saw him and said, I believe in you, and I think you have potential, and I'm going to work with you. And most coaches don't take the time to do that. They just want a kid that already knows how to play. They don't want to have to prepare them and give them the skills that they need. And that's what he does. He's an advocate for these kids, not only in basketball but in life as well. So he's constantly looking for kids to pour into and build them up and get them on to the next step in their life.
Thank you.
You mentioned earlier something about some community service or outreach to senior citizens or something. Can you talk a little bit about
Yeah, I can. I'm going to have Sam stand up and talk about, you stand up and talk about some of the community service that you have done, Sam. Can you turn around and talk about that, please? Oh, everyone's going to get an opportunity. So introduce yourself, because some people came in later. Tell them what grade you're in, what you grade.
We go to houses, places where they stay.
Senior centers.
Yeah, see, the centers to help them. And we bring socks and stuff and clothes to help them.
Thank you. I'll help you out. You can receive. So what we do is, that's just one of the things we do. We go there, and I want them to go there. And we have we're gonna have Grant stand up a little bit, because his mom works to help us get that going. Grant will tell you what his mom does and why important it is that we give back to the community. Introduce yourself, Grant.
My name is Grant Stacy. My mom helps out with senior citizens. She used to work in facilities.
So what did you do at the one that you guys went to? Did you go talk to him? Explain a little bit.
I think it was Christmas and give them presents.
Okay. Good. All right, have a seat. So those are some of the things we do. We also, we didn't do it this year because it was just so, but we're going to do it. The older kids will do it this coming up in April. We make sandwiches for the homeless and we go down to the Capitol. We take sandwiches, chips, water, granola bars, and we just hand those out to the homeless down there. We don't take pictures or anything like that. We just hand it to them, and I teach them how to do that. They are going to have to make the sandwiches themselves, so we don't go buy them. We have an assembly line. They're going to put the bologna on. They're going to put the sandwiches. They're going to do it themselves. We also do socks. We do blankets. We do a number of things we do to help all senior citizens. And I mean the whole Denver area, too. Not a particular area. We go all around. I personally do it every other 2 weeks. I go somewhere. I go find a senior citizen's home. I go there. I talk to them. I help them. I stay overnight. I bathe them. I wash them. I do all those things. So when I have these kids go there, I can only tell them what it looks like, because it really touches me. Because I know a lot of you guys don't understand this, but we're all going to get old one day. and Medicaid just doesn't take care of them the way they should. Real quick here, I just came back today. I was there just reading a book to a young lady, a little lady, blonde hair, and she thinks I'm her son. So she always says, "Where's my son, Big Ed? Let me bring my son in." So anyway, we were there, but she hadn't had parents, she hadn't had any visitors for 5 years. So I go see her every other month for an hour. That's all I can give her is an hour because they don't want me in there longer than that. All right. The other thing I do is every time there's a snowstorm, I go out and I go shovel snow for all the elderly. I do it every snowstorm. So those are some of the things I do constantly so I can teach these young men and women how important it is to give back. Sorry for taking so long on that.
Well enough. That's awesome.
So, you guys go out to the community and you help like older or senior citizens. Have you ever gone to anyone younger and like had conversations with younger kids to tell them how you got further out?
Yes, we had. I'm gonna have this young man stand up a little bit. He's an older kid, and stand up for a minute, please, Jackson. Jackson, we should do little basketball camps and all that stuff, and the older guys work that. So Jackson used to do all the camp for us and work with the 3rd and 4th and 5th graders. Spend his time. So yes, Jackson will talk more about that than how long he's been with me. And you guys can ask Jackson some questions. He's been with me a long, long time.
Yeah, so my name's Jackson. I've been with Coach Morgan since day one, all 6 years. I'm a junior in high school. I go to Brighton High School. Just finished up my high school season on Saturday. It's our last game. And yeah, the older guys have always helped the younger kids, these guys and a bunch of other kids, just with camps and in practice every day, or just doing everything we can to make them better and ourselves better. And yeah.
Jackson, by the way, we love 2-sport athletes. So Jackson's also a big time football player. He's going to have offers in football and basketball when he's done his senior year. And I'm very, very proud of Jackson. And all these kids are like sons to me and daughters to me. So Jackson's been with me a long time. All the free camps that we do free camps. We don't charge any players, any kids for any camps. We do it all ourselves. And the reason why we need this, thank you, Jackson. The reason why we need this partnership is we can ready get into the high school season. And this is the problem we have. It's $3,800. That doesn't mean you're playing tickets, but that's what it costs for a high school kid to play. $3,800. That covers, we go out of town 4 times, so they have to cover their plane tickets out of town. But that's what it covers. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And that's why we need this partnership to go. We need this to work. We need to see you guys every year. Well, whatever I need to do. If I need to do the windows here, these kids will be doing the windows, not me. So anyway, but that's how important it is. And we have a lot of kids that can't afford this. And I did all my resources that I have without getting a divorce. So the wife says she's tired of leftovers. So instead of going to Olive Garden, we can go to Maggiano's maybe one time. So I don't know. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
So you say it's a college prep program. Is that just the way you like look at your coaches, or is there
That's a great question. So what we teach them is, and my wife, God bless her, she's going to be doing all this again this year. We teach them what classes they need to take to get into school. We tell them what school they need to find for themselves. So we help them do all that. How to get the applications in. When to get the applications in. What classes not to take, because a lot of high school counselors don't tell them what classes to take. They all want them to take these honors classes. Well, you guys know and I know these honor classes are not good if you're going to get a 3 in them at the end. If you take a test and you get a 3, that's going to hurt your GPA. Lower your GPA to higher your test score need to be. So we try to teach them what classes they need to take. You can't be taking 5 PE classes, as a senior. You just can't do it. So we teach them that. And also we teach them how to get interviews. When they get interviewed after a basketball game or after a football game, we teach them what path to go to, their pathway, whatever school they want to go to, because you know and I know you're going to change your major. If it's Jackson, he's going to change his major at least 4 times. So, and it's okay. But we're going to give them plans, so we set them up academically. My wife is really good in that, and she's going to sit down and talk to all the parents and everything, because a lot of these kids don't even know they have to have an NCAA number before any college coach can talk to them. A lot of kids don't even know what classes they need to have, going into a college. You're not even be accepted in that college because you don't have the right classes. So, and then some schools, we don't want kids that are high academic going to a school that doesn't have what they want to major in. So we have a lot of kids that we want to go to Ivy League schools, School of Mines, Holy Cross. There's a lot of schools like that we really push for. Cornell, kids that are academically sound that can challenge themselves. Thank you for that question.
I think a lot of times the parents don't even know how to fill out applications and apply for scholarships and that kind of thing. And then you go to certain schools, you can only get athletic scholarships. If you only go to these schools, you can get academic, or other schools you can get a combination of athletic and academic. So Coach's wife is really versed in all that since they've had 6 of their own kids. So she is really great at helping us all navigate those waters, because there's a sea of information out there that nobody knows what to do.
And we just don't take time to talk to the kids about the most important thing, which is academics. We don't talk to them about that. And it's very, very important. When I was talking to a couple of kids yesterday, college kids had to go back, and he said, okay, coach, I know you're going to ask me my GPA. And he said, I got it at 3.5. I said, okay. I don't care about what you're doing on the basketball court. I want to know what you're doing in the classroom. Tell me about your professors. So when I talk to these kids, tell me about your professors. Tell me about what's going on there. And then you guys know, of course, I was freaked out about the shooting down in the spring. So I really have a kid that plays at UCC. And I called him immediately. Said, no, coach, I'm at home, but I'm going back tomorrow. I said, okay. So, we have a kid that is Texas A&M. He decided not to play basketball, but he got a full ride to Texas A&M because of academics. And he's great. He's going to be a great leader, and I'm proud of him. We got another kid that is working at the DIA, 19 years old. He's already moving up the steps, so he don't want to go play basketball. He wanted to go right into the corporate world and try to get in there and get some internship. That's what I love about this corporation you guys work at. There's internships. There's all kind of things you can do to be successful.
Excellent, man. Appreciate it. There's any other questions online? Here in the room? Oh.
Do we have Sarah? Would you stand up? Sarah, stand up. This is Sarah. Introduce yourself, Sarah.
I'm Sarah. I'm in 6th grade.
Do we have a women's team? What do we have? What do you play? You play with the boys? You play 6th grade boys. We will get a women's team, but Sarah plays with the 6th grade boys. Sarah, and I have to say this, I'm going to embarrass her. She had to guard one of the best 6th graders in the state of Colorado. And we played for gold. We had the Gold Crown Elite League for boys and girls, my 8th graders and my 6th graders. She had to play against one of the best boy basketball players in the state of 6th grade. Now, to me, I don't know what that means. You're in the 6th grade. I don't know what to do. So anyway, I don't know what that means. Sarah was guarding this young man last week. This is true. We have it on video. He could not get a shot off. He needed someone to set a screen for him to get it open for Sarah. So do we have girls? We have an amazing girl right here in Sarah. We have an amazing player in Sarah. I love her. She's like my daughter. She's an amazing player. Now, I have a ton of club girl basketball coaches call me every day. Can she come and play with us this tournament? Can she play in this tournament? They want her so bad. Her sister plays at UNC up in Greeley. Her father is amazing to give me the opportunity to coach her. I asked her many times if she wanted to go play with the girls. Sarah, do you want to go play with the girls? No. So, but yeah, Sarah plays this weekend, and we'll give you guys the schedule. Come and watch her play. She is amazing. Step back threes, and ones. I mean, they hit her, they knock her down. She gets right up. And I don't care if she cries, but she doesn't cry around me anymore. But I don't know why. But I told her it's okay to cry, but just go get them. She's an amazing player. I love watching Sarah play. She's one of my favorites. Well, everyone's my favorite, but Sarah's one of my favorites. Sarah, you want to talk about what the Morgan Dolls have done for you as a basketball player? Stand over there. They can't see you. You're too far away. Everybody needs to see you. Thank you, Sarah. This is the most words you're going to get out of her, so you guys need to clap it up for Sarah. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Um,
So, yeah, I just wanted to add.
This is Sarah's dad, James.
So, Ed coached my older daughter, the middle one, and so Ed used to coach a girls' club team, like I would say, about 8 years ago. He said he's been coaching for 35 years. So he did coach a girls' middle school and high school team. He coaches one of his daughters that played for DU, and so he coached my older daughter, and so she, with this school, he instilled in her the accountability. So she made it to play at the next level. Got like 13 Division I offers. She's currently a grad student at UNC. She would be here right now, but she has practice.
Yeah.
They leave this Wednesday to go play Idaho State. So this is her last year at the Cody. So yeah, so what happened was when Sarah was on a girls team, but then that team disintegrated. So they were practicing at the same facility as the courts in Northland, and the Morgan Dogs were playing, and obviously they had no lane. I just coached them and see circuit just practice with the girls, and that's kind of how she was just kind of a practice player. And then we Edward formed a 6th grade team, and she was good enough to play on it. So obviously she wasn't good enough. So that's kind of how it got started.
Thank you, James. There's another young man. We got two more guys we need to talk about, but this young man, Darian, when you stand up, this young man here was told that he was undersized and couldn't play. Turn around, face those young people. And his dad called me up in the summer, and I was like, well, why are you not with the high school team? Practicing and all that. He says, what do you mean? I don't know if he can make it. So Darian, look at him now. I know you guys all saying, he plays high school basketball. He's on the JV team, and I'll let him tell you what school and introduce himself. But he probably surprised not only himself, but he probably surprised his mom and dad. And he's a good role model for his two brothers there, who I think are amazing. And his dad back there is another amazing. But Darian is a true believer in when you believe in something and you believe in you and you have people believe in you, what can happen. So Darian, introduce yourself and get away from right in the middle of the pole and scoot toward them. Go the other way. Thank you. And tell your story. So the coach calls me up and says, Coach, I don't know what to do with this kid. I said, what do you mean? He says, I got to move him up. I said, of course you got to move him up. He's like, but he's going to get hurt. No, he'll get back up. But Darian is amazing young man, and I love him because he's coachable. He's very, very coachable. That's the first thing the coach has said. He's disciplined. He listens. He's accountability, responsibility. And as soon as he catches up to his dad, I don't know what's going on there. Dad, stand up for a minute. Stand up for a minute. Can you tell me why Darian is not dad's side yet? All right. But anyway, Darian's a good role model. Thank you, Darian. I appreciate it. I want to talk about another kid here, which you're going to put him on the spot, is Dylan. I had an opportunity. Another thing you guys don't know, I do free coaching. I go down to Gold Crown when the high school season starts and kids that can't make a team, they put them on a team in Gold Crown. I go down there and coach them for free. I go down there, spend time, whatever they need. If they need shoes, I buy them shoes, whatever they need to get them to keep playing. And I got in the gym and I seen this young man. I said, this big dude, man. Why is this big dude shooting threes? He's the biggest kid in the gym. And he wanted to dunk every time. And so I was like, let me talk to this kid. And so I fell in love with him, but I want him to tell the story. It has not always been love on one side, but it is now. So it took a while, but I want to tell you this story here. Dylan played in a tournament. I think we're in Vegas. Yeah. Vegas. He played against this kid, 6'6". Was he 6 foot? 6'10". Okay. The kid now plays at West Virginia. He had a chance to. He had to guard him, and I'm gonna let him tell you the story. Stand up. First, introduce yourself.
My name is Dylan King. My mom's Jennifer. So we were in Vegas, and so I was the biggest kid on the court because our other kid couldn't make it. So I had to guard this big dude, and I didn't know if I was going to get dunked on and then get put on ESPN. And so I was kind of like, trying not to guard him because I didn't want to get put on a highlight reel, you know, end up all over social media and all my friends and things like that. But, you know, I didn't play. I wasn't trying to play him the first couple minutes, and then
I called a timeout.
Yeah, called a timeout, yelled at me, and then I got that.
Encourage you.
Strongly. And he took me to the side and he's like, if you do not guard this kid, then you're not going to be playing. And so I'm like, okay, I want to play. And so, you know, having to guard him, you know, it was horrible because, like, this kid's, like, up here and I'm down here. And so I'm having to try to move this kid out the way. And, you know.
Get to the good stuff.
It was whatever.
And he did great. He scored and got an N1 on the guy 6'10" or 6'8", however, he was big. He was a grown man. So all year we were playing against we play against people that are older than us. We don't play down. It doesn't do me any good. You can't sit down now, Dylan. I won't embarrass you anymore. We don't play against kids that are our age because it doesn't help them grow into a player. We're going to go out and we're going to lose some games and we're going to win some games. But the experience they need to have has to be a positive experience. They need to know they can do it. And he did it. We have one more kid, and I'll answer some questions. And I don't know how to say this, but I got to say it like this, so I hope I don't offend anyone. We call this young man White Chocolate, stand up White Chocolate. He had to play against their inner cities team, and they're pretty good. They're one of the best club teams here. We're going to probably face some of those guys this weekend. And the kid, I wish I had brought the video in of him jumping, blocking the shot. And the kid said he could guard him. I said, you can't guard him. He said, I can guard him, coach. I said, you can't guard him, bro. You better get somebody else on him. And he had an amazing, amazing tournament. He likes to score. He has hair longer than that, but I asked him to get a haircut like a month ago, and it still needs to be shorter than this. But his name is Mason. We're going to let Mason talk about his experience with the Morgan Dogs. And there are probably about 30 coaches. Now, I'm not making this up. 30 club teams that want this kid to play with them. And the loyalty that he showed, not only the Morgan Dogs, but me, would never, ever go away, how much love I have for Mason. So, tell him about your experience with the Morgan Dogs.
My name is Mason. I'm in 8th grade. I go to Restream. My experience with Morgan Dogs is in 6th grade. I was kind of in a referee with the protocol. And then I go to Morgan Dogs. Wasn't used to getting encouraged a lot.
Two-sport athlete as well. As a big-time baseball player. Go ahead.
And then I was really used to the competition, but then with Morgan, I went over that.
There you go. Spread your wings to fly. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Did I embarrass anyone? Are we good? Grant? Did I embarrass you, Grant? Okay. All right. Any other questions you have for me or either the players? We have a lot of high school players not here because of one reason or another. They couldn't get here for practices and things. We have college kids that wanted to be here that couldn't make it. But they all would tell me the same, would want me to tell you guys this. Thank you for helping the young Morgan Dogs, because this is our future, and we appreciate it. We have a ton of parents, and I don't want to forget this. We have a ton of parents that support everything we do. And I want to thank all those parents. We have 4 of them in here, but there's so many more. Liz, which is Grant's mom. Nikki, who's been with me from day one, which is Jackson's mom. Mason's mom and dad. Lynn, which is Sam's mom. We have a bunch of parents that keep us going. Without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So please understand that this village is full of love, full of love. But it is hard to be with us if you don't do the right thing. And that's why a lot of kids don't play with me that are D1 players, because they don't do the right thing. And I refuse not to have kids do the right thing. So that's what I sacrifice sometimes. But at the end, it's the reward. When I know I can put kids out there that do the right thing, they do the right thing on the court, off the court, and in the classroom.
Well, Coach Morgan, I appreciate you for bringing not only the dogs here, but also yourself and your presence and giving us your time, your talent, your treasure. And obviously, we want to see you succeed as well. And so with that, come on up here, Jen. We want to present you with a check and donation from J.E. Dunn for $2,500. And the fellas, y'all want to get
Come on up here.
too,
This is
man?
not mine. You guys, get up here. Come on up here. What do you guys say? Up on over here.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. All right.
She was there.
Okay, get on in here. Sarah, get over here so we can put Sarah on the end so we can see her. Big guys, get behind me. Get on. You get on the other side, little man. Go over there. Tell me how high. Come on. Come on in. Go over there. You want to get next to me? All right. Can you get us?
Good.
All right. All right. So we're going to give you guys our dog breakdown. If you don't mind, you guys all come up. Can you guys all come up? I need everybody up. Mason, you going to take care of it? Oh, we can come down. Let's go back there to them, Mason. Come on. All right. Thank you, guys. Clap it up for him. Thank you very much. Let's go, Mason. Let's get everybody in. Thank you. Let's go. This is their first time ever doing this. So if you guys all can come in, we just group them up, Mason. There you go. A little flavor. And tell them to repeat after you. You got this? Okay. Now let's do a little louder. I couldn't hear it. Let's go. Here we go. All right. All right, shake hands. Thank you, guys. They were kind of nervous. I was nervous for them. Thank you. Hey, could you guys do me a huge favor? There's cards up there. Please take one of the cards. And there's some pictures up there of some of the kids that are not here. I want to thank you guys for your time. And Sarah, it's okay. You can smile. Yes, you did. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I praise you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Like the hat.